Hello, I am Humberto Aguilar, and I'm making this video tutorial in order to explain how to install and configure SE Capital version 1.0. This software can be used for creating an electronic equity market in a classroom setting for didactic purposes, or it can be used in a research setting in a controlled environment. Maybe if you want to do a behavioral economics study with some students or a large group of students, well, you can use this software to do that. It's very interesting the results that you can get by doing some certain studies with this software. Like, for example, the creation of bubbles. Well, this first video will help you install and configure SE Capital, and I hope this will facilitate the installation. I will share a link where you can download the binaries. The binaries are compiled for Linux Ubuntu. It will work well in Linux Ubuntu. And well, we can start. The requirements so that SE Capital version 1.0 can work are Linux Ubuntu or Linux Slackware. I originally developed this software in Linux Slackware, but I made sure that this works well in Linux Ubuntu as it is a more popular distribution. Also, we need to have the TCP/IP protocols enabled and working. We need to have the network configuration. And also we need to have IPv4. And also we need to configure the file name services under the etc. folder. The step one is, well, once you get the file, you will uncompress it. You can type the command you see here. I'm pointing it with the mouse. And by typing that command, you will uncompress it. If you do that in a terminal, you can also do it in the graphic user interface in a different way, of course. If we continue with the step one, we need to insert these 3 lines of information into the services file. We need to insert the SECAP quote and ACC SECAP sockets into this file. This file will have like the numbers and names of all the sockets, so it's important to add this. If we don't add them, then the servers won't start. It is important to mention that this software uses a client-server model. And in fact, we have like 3 servers that work in order to provide information to the client. Okay, step 1, configure the program. So we need to configure Linux in order to be able to initiate the service, create a root account in order to configure SE Capital, create a market admin account to configure SE Capital, and configure market parameters. Okay, so this video will only consider step 1. In this case, I already had uncompressed SE Capital tar.xz. So what we have to do in this case, I will provide the binary, so maybe you won't need to do this. But in case I also share the source code, which I will do in the future, we'll need to compile it. To compile it, first we need to type this command, run_lib, and we'll compile all the libraries. Then we'll type /run server. This one will compile the server and the quote server. I'm not going to put enter here because I don't want to execute the server, so I will key Control C, and I'm getting out, so I can continue compiling. I will compile then the accounting server, which is run AC server. Okay, and also we need to compile, as there is no data uh, right now. For example, we don't have any user data, so we need to create our first account so that we can configure the software. So we're going to run ACC tool. That is a tool that will create a user when you don't have any information, that will allow us to enter and configure the software. And also we need to type run. This script will compile the client. So as you can see, everything has been compiled. There are other tools. We're not going to explain. I'm not going to explain them right now. The first thing we have to do is we need to run ACC tool, which will create the account that will start SE Capital. We have to run this twice because the file was not created. The file is created and then the information is added. Okay, next. The next situation here is that I need to show you where is the password. Okay, so there is a section. I use the Midnight Commander. It's a very useful tool if you want to browse your directories and folders or folders. Okay, here in info, in the folder info, we can find a file named readme. I will access this one, and here you'll see the note saying that to access the software, you will need to use username root and this password. Okay? The first thing to also, we need to make sure, and this is very important, I will go to the etc. and then to the services file. You need to make sure that you will have these 3 lines in the file. This is very important. Okay, I have them already, so I don't need to do anything else. The next step is I will access to the SE Capital subfolder where I have my binaries, and I will run the init script. This will run all the servers. Now they are running successfully, as we can see here. There is an error in this case because this is the first time I'm running everything. There is no configuration. Okay. The next step is we need to access the client with the client to the software. Okay. To do this, we access to our subfolder where I have the client binary, and in this case I need to enter the IP address that I see here, which is 127.0.1.1. This will vary depending on your network configuration. Okay. Next, once we need to run again the client. As you can see, the server received a test connection code. Therefore, it means that it worked, and now we can proceed to access with the super user account that we already saw. So we now accessed for the first time to the software, and we need to create some basic accounts. There are several roles in this program, which is the super user. The super user is in charge of creating user accounts. That's the only thing that the super user can do. It can also shut down the server, and that's all. Then we have the market administrators, and there are two types of market administrators. The first one will be able to do initial public offerings, repurchases, and specific things like that. The second one will be able to configure the market parameters. Also, we have another user, which is the broker. The broker will have clients and will be able to operate on behalf of the clients and send cash, titles, deposits, withdrawal orders, and all that. Okay? And the last role is a guest role. There are two types of guest roles. One is a general guest, which can see real-time quotes, and the other one is the client. The client can directly access the system and make operations, transactions. Okay. In this case, to configure users, I will press 1. As you can see, you need to type the value inside the brackets in order to access the option in the menu. So I press 1, and then I will go to Broker Accounts Manager, which is I will press 1 again. In this case, I have the options for the system users. I want to create a new one, so I will press 1 again. And in this case, I will put this will be admin 01. I want to create it. I will put a password, and this will be market admin. I will label this as high level. This will be market authority, so I will press 3, and this will be an administrator. I will press 4. Okay, I need another account. We need 3 market admin accounts. So I will create admin 2. In this case, also I will set password. Market admin 2. Regular. I will label this as a regular market authority. And this will have normal status, so I will press 1. Okay, so we have these 2 accounts, and we can create a third one. Okay, in this case, I will do this high level. And this will be 3, and this will be 4. Also, I made a mistake. I erroneously added a 0 to the admin 01. So if I want, I can delete the user. It's very easy. We press 2 here, and we write admin 01. And I will say, yes, I want to delete the user. As simple as that. And I can create again the user I want. In order to have the same notation for the users. That's why I'm doing this. So I press 3, market authority, and 4. Okay, so I have these 3 users. We also need to add a broker. So we'll add broker 1. And this is broker 001. This is going to be number 2 and normal status. Okay, so now I have 1 broker, 3 admins, in the super user. Okay, now I can go back by 4 and then again go back. So it's time to configure the market parameters, which is very important. We'll continue that in the next video.